Good morning. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Gazi Zibari, Professor of Transplant and Hepatopancreaticobiliary Surgery and Director of John C. McDonald Regional Transplant Center at Willis-Knighton Health System in Shreveport, Louisiana. It is a true honor and a privilege for me to introduce to you Professor Javier Carlos Linduar, President of America's Hepatopancreaticobiliary Association. Javier attended Champagnat High School from 1965 till 1976. Then he obtained his medical degree with diploma, the honor from the University of Buenos Aires in 1984. Then he completed his surgical residency at Hospital Español of Buenos Aires. In 1989, he won the prestigious Rotary International Scholarship and he traveled to Pittsburgh and completed his transplant fellowship at the Starzl Transplant Institute. He returned to Buenos Aires in 1991. Later on in 2003, he obtained his PhD from University of Buenos Aires. In 2007, he obtained teaching career for physician from the University of Buenos Aires. Also, he rapidly was promoted from assistant professor to associate and then to full professor of surgery and transplantation. Immediately after Javier returned from Pittsburgh, he joined the Department of Surgery at Hospital Español, where he performed his surgical training. From 1993 till 2016, he was appointed as Vice Chairman, Department of Liver Transplantation at Dr. Qasimi Archerich Hospital. Also, he became Chairman of Liver Transplant at Fellini Hospital. From 2008 till present, he has been the Chairman of Liver Transplantation Program at Sanatorio Trinidad Mitre of Buenos Aires. As you can see from this slide, that Javier has played a major leadership role in every transplant and surgical society in Argentina, including as a founding member of the Cell Transplant Society, President of Argentinian Society of Transplantation, President of Argentine Hepatopancreaticobiliary Chapter, General Secretary of Argentine Surgical Association, as well as President of America's Hepatopancreaticobiliary Association, to mention only few. Javier's academic achievement has been very impressive, and his accomplishment in academic medicine is known as a triple threat, which means in academic medicine, excellence in research, education, and patient care. Javier is the only child, and as you can imagine, he was spoiled, and he is very close to both his grandfather and father. In this picture, his grandfather was holding him when he was a toddler. Javier was very active, and he spent a lot of time with his family, either on the beach or on the farm. Javier was very excited when he got a BB gun and a cowboy costume. I was told that for the entire month he would not let that gun to get out of his side, and even when he was sleeping, he would keep his gun at his side. He was practicing to become one of the best cowboys so that if any country resists to become part of America's hepatopancreatidobiliary globalization, he would consider to use force to do so. This is Javier's fourth grade class photo. His parents clearly spoiled him, but one thing they did not compromise on was his education. They made certain that he got the best possible education. When Javier was a young boy, and as a teenager, he was very handsome and he loved sports as well as outdoors activity. Javier joined the military in 1978 during a very dangerous time because both Argentina and Chile were at verge of going to a major war. Thanks to God that both states had enough common sense to avoid the war by addressing the issue on hand peacefully. As I said before, Javier loved sport. He was very fast and energetic and unstoppable. As you can see from this photo, several players of the other team were trying to stop him during a rugby game. Also, he was an excellent soccer player, but he was known to be one of the best goalies of his time. Javier has made many great decisions during his lifetime, but one of the best decisions he has ever made was to date Miss Luz and later on to become his fiancée, wife, and eventually become mother of his beautiful children. And without her help and support, it would have been impossible for Javier to be so successful. Thank you, Luz, for all you have done for all of us. Javier and Luz got married on April 4, 1986, and already it has been 3 decades ago. Wow! Javier knew he found the right person to marry to from the moment he met Luz. However, I wonder what he was thinking. If you look at his photo on your right side, he probably knew he would pursue further education abroad, and perhaps he was questioning himself about timing of their wedding. Javier is with his mom and with Luz's mom, brother, and at their wedding. Unfortunately, Luz's dad was not present at the wedding because he had departed from this world, and God knows he is in a better place up in heaven. Both Javier and Luz were having a blast at their honeymoon in 1986. Here is Javier with his family celebrating his dad's birthday. Javier was the only child, and he is very close to both his mother as well as to his grandmother. In 1989, Javier secured the very prestigious Rotary Scholarship, and then he and Luz traveled to Pittsburgh to pursue a transplant fellowship at the Starzl Transplant Institute. Gibson and Alice Buchanan family hosted them till they were able to find an apartment. It was here in Pittsburgh where Javier and Luz met Oscar and Sandra. It is very ironic that Oscar has become the president of AHPBA, while Javier has become the president of AHPBA. Like people of Argentina, we are very proud of both of them. Here Javier is flying out to perform organ donor recovery, and despite his busy schedule, he always managed to find little free time in order to socialize with his peers. The right upper photo is a reunion photo of Javier and Oscar with Professor Starzl about a decade later. Javier went to Pittsburgh to master the technique of liver transplantation, which he mastered it very rapidly. But shortly thereafter, he faced a much bigger task, which it was for him to learn how to go about holding his newly born son, Matthew. Also, I thought Dr. Starzl was keeping his fellows extremely busy, but yet Javier found little time to make babies. Wow. On your left side of the slide, you see the photo of 4 kids who were in the wedding of one of their nieces, while the photo on the right, Matthew was trying to help Mama by taking care of his little sister. Javier and Luz spend most of their vacation time with their children, either on the beaches or on the farm. Besides soccer, Javier loves scuba diving, and clearly he managed to convince the entire family, as you can see from this slide, to join him, and they became a pro scuba diving. Most people travel to Disney World so that their children can have fun. As you can see from this slide, that Javier is having a blast with his family as well. Once again, he does his best to make any trip very fun for his family and children. As you can see here, that both Javier and Luz had dressed up the way people of Argentina were dressing up some 200 years prior at the bicentennial anniversary of Argentine independence date back to 1810. Clearly, Javier is outnumbered in this photo. I do not think, even if he had the right to veto, it will not save him. But in any event, it will be extremely difficult and hard for anyone to say no to those beautiful girls. The Lindores family has grown up due to the addition of girlfriends and boyfriends, and no longer they can get in an SUV and take off, but rather they have to travel in multiple vehicles, and at times several has to fly to join the others at the final destination. And clearly it has been costly for Luz and Javier to get these kids taken care of it. As their family has increased in size, Luz has decided to make a gym out of her kitchen. As you can see, I can easily hide in her pot, and no longer there is any need for her to go to the gym. Both Javier and Oscar met each other for the first time in Pittsburgh, USA, dated back to 1989. It is very impressive to have Javier as the president of America's Hepatopancreaticobiliary Association, while Oscar as the president of International Hepatopancreaticobiliary Association. They are not only making people of Argentina proud, but rather they make the entire hepatopancreaticobiliary community very proud, and congratulations to both of you and yours. However, the main message of this photo is that Javier was pursuing his childhood dream to be one of the finest cowboy, and that's why he and Oscar traveled back to Mexico to get extra training pending AHPBA globalization. Javier and Luz, with their cowboy and cowgirls unit, and well trained and ready to attack any state who declined the idea of globalization of AHPBA. One area of Javier's main concern was the finance of AHPBA, and he knew the project of globalization will require resources. His daughters came up with a great idea of opening a hair salon, and they were willing to give all profits to AHPBA for globalization purpose. However, they wanted first to practice on their dad. More importantly, they have brought their hair salon to AHPBA Congress here in Sao Paulo, and they will give 50% discount to all our members, and all profits, as I said, it would go for the globalization purposes. Dr. Lindauer has many talents, including to go to a REM sleep within minutes, even when he is at the stage. Either he dreams about his lovely wife Luz and his family, or he dreams about his beer. Javier loves to drink beer, and if you want him to be very happy, you need to take him to the best beer brewer in your community and town. Earlier I said, even though Javier was extremely happy and lucky to marry such a wonderful lady, Miss Luz, but he may not have been very sure about the timing of their wedding because he was getting ready to travel abroad in order to obtain his transplant fellowship. However, he proved himself to be wrong. As you can see, about a couple of weeks ago, on April 4, 2016, the Lindauer family were celebrating their 30th anniversary. What a beautiful family and happy anniversary. Even as a surgical house staff, Javier was very active, dynamic, and everyone around him realized he was the shining star. As you can see from this slide, he is at the head of table moderating a session at Latin America Surgical House Staff Congress. Also, you can see him with his surgical house staff class and having fun together. Many of Javier's students felt that his head was so big that they had to make him a custom surgical cap. Javier loved soccer game, and here he is watching World Soccer Cup in Brazil with his grandfather and with his family. They are very loyal supporters of their team. Javier and Oscar traveled to Japan with his favorite team, Boca Juniors soccer team. They returned victorious and won the Intercontinental Cup. Javier is with his son and with Oscar watching the soccer game. I wonder which one of them was louder than the other one. Wherever Javier goes, he always believes in Boca Junior colors, even when he attended a very high security jail, which is very similar to our version of Alcatraz jail. His costume dress were colored like Boca Junior colors. Javier and Oscar do believe in globalization as well as in harmonization. Both of them are true international surgeon scientists. While attending AHPBA Congress in Bombay, India, Javier was discussing the next Congress in Argentina, and as you can see that he was extremely excited and was looking forward to the challenge. Javier may run like a kangaroo, but he cannot escape this bunch, as you can see him in this slide. Whenever Javier gets a chance, he enjoys to dine with his family and friends. Javier has traveled all over the world. Javier has made connection with all hepatopancreatic biliary world leaders. No matter how hard he has to work, at the end of the day, he would make the necessary time and to have fun with everybody around him. No matter whatever the occasion is, he makes himself available to everybody. And as I said, he's probably one of the most traveled president you'll ever meet or see. He is truly a doer, and he does go out of his way to attend every meeting possible. I bet you he has enough frequent flyer mileages that he can airlift his entire family with a first class ticket to any destination of his choice. No matter what Javier tries to make the necessary time for the members as well as for spouses to enjoy and have fun at our meeting and during our outreach trips. Javier and Oscar taking little time out during AHPBA Congress in Paris. This cowboy must be very lucky to have both Louis and Sandra to sit in his lap. The spouses at times relax on the beaches, while other times they block the highway. Apparently, while they were in Cancun, their vehicle tire went flat, and they were waiting for a second vehicle to pick them up. What a luck. In this slide, you can see two gentlemen among this soccer team, both of whom had very strong desire to become leaders. As you can see, Javier became the president of AHPBA, and Mauricio Marci became the president of Argentina in 2015. While Mr. Mauricio Marci managed to win the heart and mind of people of Argentina and was elected to be their president, Javier not only won the heart and minds of people of Argentina, but he also won the heart and minds of people of Central and Latin America, Canada, and USA. Wow, what an accomplishment. Congratulations are in order. What a great achievement and legacy. It will be impossible to anyone to fill in your shoes, and clearly you have put the heat on me. As you can see, the leadership of AHPBA and HPBA went to Vatican, and Javier hand-delivered a booklet from I and AHPBA to His Holiness the Pope. Also, the team met Professor Nunes from WHO, who will be supporting our outreach activity abroad. Javier and his family are with President of AHPBA, Professor Jagannath of India. Also, Javier is with his son Matthew, who is going to graduate and will obtain his medical degree very soon. Delphina wrote a little statement. She stated, "I bet most of you know my father very well, and I agree that he is a very hard-working and responsible surgeon and educator. However, there are many things you do not know about him. There are two special things I would like to share with you. My dear dad has an extremely busy mind. At times he smashes into every tree or post he passes by on the street. He also drives his car to the hospital, and then he comes home by bus, leaving his car behind. He has lost his car keys many times on the same day. Additionally, he leaves the salt in the fridge often. Last but not the least, at times he pays the same bill 2 or 3 times. Anyway, the funny thing is that I have inherited both traits. Thanks, Dad. I love you, Delphina." I would like to tell Delphina that we are very happy to hear that he has passed his great genes to you. Also, I bet you the reason he leaves his car at the hospital and comes home by bus is because he gets so tired and he does not want to get involved in a car wreck, but perhaps to catnap until he could get home so that he will give you some free time. The reason he puts salt in fridge, it is because he does not want you to consume too much salt. He loves you so much. Finally, I have learned so much from your dad, but I believe he can learn something important from me. I bet you I have never paid same bill twice like your dad. And the reason is because I don't pay my bills, but rather my wife take care of it for me. So my recommendation to your dad is to ask your lovely mom to take care of family bills, and I bet you she would do a better job than your dad. Candy wrote that my dad is very enthusiastic about the things he likes. So, as you can see, his love, passion, and devotion to surgery and medicine. Also, he loves sports such as diving. He began to dive with my brother when I was very young, and a few years later, he convinced us to join them. Now we all share the same love for diving, and it is all thanks to him. Candy. Loli Rudd said, "My dad is one of my great examples in life. I have learned a lot from him over the years. He teaches me to value family and friends, to respect others, to commit to what I do. But the most important thing I have learned from him is that I have to follow my dreams, to do what I really want, and to overcome difficulties. He demonstrated to me that achieving a goal takes commitment, time, desire, and courage. It's not simple, but I never have to give up. That is why he is standing here right now. For all of this, I am proud of him and I admire him the most." Luli. Matthew wrote, said, "My dad is the person that I admire the most. Watching him making so many sacrifices and loving his career is the first reason why I decided to study medicine. Of course, he is human and has deficiencies like anyone else, but despite all of that, he can manage to be a loving husband, a caring father, and a dedicated doctor. Seeing what he has achieved makes me proud and also makes me wonder to see what his next goal will be, because I am sure he will be able to see it through. I love my dad and I am really happy for him. Matthew. Finally, I don't know how to appreciate Luz for allowing me to have full access to family photo albums, and for her advice and many phone calls and many emails to be able to get this talk together. She wrote and said that I met Javier during his first year at medical school at University of Buenos Aires. I saw him working extremely hard during his surgical residency and liver transplant fellowship. He lost a lot of sleep so that he could care for his patients and to pass on his knowledge to his students. We learned together to be the parents of 4 beautiful kids and too many things to celebrate. I am really proud of him. Thank you, Luz. You have been very generous to allow us to use Javier as our leader, the gentleman who embarked on globalization and basically made a dream to become a reality. Javier is a man with integrity, honesty, and his work ethic is second to none. He is a visionary leader, and because of him, the concept of globalization has materialized, and because of him, our association is much stronger than ever before. He is a great communicator, and he worked with the council and the executive committee very well and very closely. Finally, I'm very proud to tell you here is the Professor Javier Carlos Lindewood, our President of America's Hepatopancreatobbiliary Association. Thank you.